Hello, this is Jaron with AoC Network, and check out this video, and then I have a special message for you at the end.
Most believers largely agree on the second coming and that we will be saved from God's wrath. But the great divide and debate comes in with when the rapture will take place. The Bible teaches that before Jesus comes in his glory, those who follow Christ will be caught up to meet him in the air. And this is referred to as the great wedding banquet. And so when we are caught up to meet him in the air, there's going to be this great meeting, this great reunion of God's people, the believers who have died and the ones who are left on earth when he comes. And after we have this reunion, then the Bible says that we will return to earth with Jesus to go to war against the Antichrist. So when does this rapture, or this point of being caught up to meet him in the sky, when does that happen? Well, there are two main views. There's the pre-tribulation view and the post-tribulation view. Those who side with pre-tribulation believe that the rapture happens right at the start of the 7-year period, and then we all will return with Christ at the end of it when he returns at the second coming. Now, those who side with the post-tribulation view believe that the followers of Christ will be here for the tribulation, but will be caught up or raptured right before God's wrath is poured out on the world. And then we will return with Christ at the second coming at the end to defeat the Antichrist. So no matter which view you side with, both views do agree that at the second coming, Jesus is not going to float down to earth playing a harp, and neither will you. At the second coming, Jesus is coming back as the warrior, King of Kings. And you also will be a warrior. The second coming will be the ultimate battle of good versus evil. And Jesus is a king who rides first into battle. So yeah, Jesus, he is not a softie. Yeah, they put a crown of thorns on his head, but he is returning with a crown of gold as a fierce king. And when he returns, the world will see who he is. So in the last video, we looked at how the Bible says that when Jesus returns, we all will fight against the Antichrist. That's right. We're going to go to war. And some people got scared about that. And I just want to say, you don't have to be scared. You don't have to worry, because the Bible also says that when Jesus returns, all who believed in him will be raised up to him in an immortal body. That means you will have a body that can never be destroyed. So it's going to kind of play out like Avengers Endgame. Remember how a lot of them were dead, and then at the end they came back in that epic war against Thanos? Well, in a similar way, when Jesus returns, all of his followers who are alive and those who had died will rise to fight against the Antichrist with him, and Jesus will be king on earth.
Wow, there's so much to say about that. But I think the main point that I want to make from this is how exciting it is to know that when Jesus returns as the triumphant king, ready for war, he's not going to ride alone. You're going to be with him. And will we go to war? Will we fight against the forces of darkness? Well, it doesn't give us the details of how that's going to play out. But it does say this. Look what it reads. So you have Revelation 19, and it talks about how when Jesus returns, he's not going to come wearing crowns of thorns, but he's going to come as the triumphant king to basically clean up this earth. He's going to get rid of evil, Satan, and the armies of heaven will be following him, prepare for battle. And it says that the Antichrist and the kings of the earth will try to stand against him. They won't have much luck with that. And then in Revelation 17, it gets more specific as to what this will look like. And look what it says. It says, they will wage war against the Lamb, but the Lamb will triumph over them because he is Lord of lords and King of kings. And look at this. And with him will be his called, chosen, and faithful followers. And so when it says that he is going to return and the armies of heaven will be following him, they tell you in 17 who is going to be a part of that armies. Of course, there will be angels, but there will be us there as well. That's amazing. Because right prior to this, what will happen? Well, the Antichrist is going to be on the scene. He's going to think that he has defeated the people of God. It says in Revelation 13:7 that he's going to war against the saints. And it's going to seem like he's had this victory, right? And just in that moment, when they think that they've won, when Satan seems to have won a victory, the greatest thing, the greatest event ever, I believe, will take place. When Jesus appears in the sky, you appear with him. And here's how cool, this is how amazing it is. You see, many of us have experienced Satan's warfare all throughout our lives. We've experienced hard times, and we know many of those are because of the actions of the enemy. And so what better thing for God to do than to allow you to get a taste of defeating the forces of darkness? That's why when Jesus comes back, he's not riding alone. We are going to ride with him. That's the day of wrath right there. And so God himself, his children, all of us are going to experience this day of vengeance. I know we are peaceful people. I know we love our enemies. But on that day, man, it's going to get real. I'm just going to say that. So remember this. Be loving, be kind, and warn people. It's a dangerous thing to be on the opposite side of God, because there will be a day of wrath, and you will be a part of it. So it's going to get interesting. But we'll see how that plays out. But we will be with him when he returns to invade the earth. We will escort him down, just as the king that he is should be escorted. And so stay tuned. We are still working on the unmasking of the Antichrist movie documentary. And it's going to be, like I said, a very deep teaching. And I think you're going to enjoy that. And before that is released, next week we have a video. Many people ask about the mark of the beast, and so there is something I think we should cover with that in this end time series, Revelation series. So stay tuned. Don't want to miss it. God bless you.